a lot for agreeing to have this conversation with me today. I appreciate your willingness to share key takeaways from your career journey in data thus far. I would like to ask you a couple of questions about your career path in business intelligence and reporting, as you have an amazing track record in this. Right now, you are a business intelligence consultant at Analytics, a company which you set up to empower diverse businesses to unlock hidden insights and automate tasks. I'm really eager to deep dive with you on this topic. So, let's start with the first question. What do you find the most interesting and inspirational in this field?
Yeah, so I actually did not study computer science. I had a minor in bioinformatics. My actual focus was sustainability. I went to New York University, and so my focus has always been how do we create efficacy? How do we know we're being efficient, and how do we sustainably continuously grow in all types of efforts? And so I actually was originally data analytics, and so business intelligence, I didn't even know about it. It was suggested to me while I was working at Cornell that, you know what, you're really into impact, you love to work with people, and what we really need is data experts that can see how we can continuously grow as our data is growing. At that time, we had a lot of initiatives with Google and Columbia and so forth, so I fell in love with business intelligence, even though I didn't study for it. And that's basically it, because with business intelligence, I get to see the big picture, whether it's a government agency, whether it's a university. It's how do we measure our efficacy and how do we continue to grow sustainably? And that's what I love about it.
And in terms of the tools and methodologies, of course, they are all developing so fast these days. What trends and maybe associated challenges do you see in the industry right now?
So the key difference between data analytics and business intelligence is a lot of it is self-service and real-time reporting. So that is not changing. However, what is changing is how self-service reporting is increasing now with AI. Like with AI, we have generative AI that now allows end users, so like a director of marketing, maybe a compliance analyst, they can now go in on certain platforms, like let's say even Tableau now, Amazon, QuickSight, Microsoft Copilot, and Power BI. They can now on dashboards write their own questions that maybe the dashboard doesn't exactly answer yet. So there's that now. So it's self-service reporting on steroids. And on the other end, traditionally, in business intelligence, we only had to really create data marts, maybe some different types of objects, but whether it's, in a data warehouse, data lake, now it's, okay, we're also working with AI engineers and, facilitating with, setting up the APIs or whatever type of integration with data products, like let's say Databricks. Now I have to sit with them and ensure that what they're building meets business needs at the same time with all our other reporting, because we can't have discrepancies in our reporting. And at the end of the day, we have to be mindful of, hallucinations, temperatures, grounding issues. So it's a whole other field to now collaborate with, basically.
And my last question to you. What advice would you give to your younger self or maybe young professionals who are considering entering this field?
I think the number one advice is, especially business intelligence, in the sense that I'm always working with, oftentimes, I think majority of the time, non-technical end users, is learning to understand people in terms of active listening. Is that whole 2 ears, 1 mouth. And it sounds really silly, but this is something one of my managers taught me. It's like, never trust the end users. Like, really, don't just listen to what they're saying, but really listen to what their problems are. Because sometimes what they might write in an email or what they might say, a technical spec, there will be sometimes nuances. Like, really understand, why do they need something? Because there'll be that pieces of information in between the lines, basically. So there's that. I wish I had learned that a bit sooner. What is truly active listening? To understand on a needs level, what are the problems? And that has really pushed my career so fast. I basically jumped from just being a junior level business intelligence to senior, like, we're having you lead the teams, because I really didn't want to just build what people told me to. I wanted to solve problems, but I had to listen to people.
Amazing. Amee, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your experience and expertise with the listeners of this course. Much appreciated.